Happy New Year!
Well, I hope that awakens you for the few minutes that we're going to visit with you. I'm Dr. Bill,
And I'm Ted.
and we're going to talk about, as New Year's approaches, how to handle New Year's, New Year's Eve, and heaven forbid, 2024. What do you think is the best ideas for New Year's Eve?
Well, first thing you need to do is kind of plan your work and work your plan. Decide, are you staying in or are you going out? Doc, what you doing?
What do you think? I'm going out.
Well, a couple of things I don't know if you thought about it or not. I know Nashville's turned into kind of the second largest destination spot for New Year's Eve.
But I'm dressed up, Ted.
Yeah, you are. And looking good, too. So, but just keep in mind, yeah, we don't drop a ball around here. We drop a musical note. But still, it's going to cost you between $250 $300 a pop to get in any of those bars down with 2nd Avenue or Lower Broad. So, and you got to figure out how you're going to get home without becoming one of our residents of our local, finer correctional establishments around here.
You think anybody's having a party at home? Maybe I can stay?
Well, if not, we will. So.
All right, let's go for it. What do you think is the best thing that we can be sharing with our friends and neighbors as they show up at our house?
Well, I think it's always nice to kind of involve your, maybe the kids and some of the non-drinkers. You had a great idea for a sherbet punch you were telling me about.
Yeah, it's dynamite. Just get you a gallon of sherbet, and it's dynamite if you shake up the ginger ale, but another gallon of ginger ale will make it really super.
Yeah, you're going to get in trouble with your wife. So, what is next?
What's new? Well, how about as the evening goes on? Now folks are really coming in. It's getting into the early evening hours. Is there anything we can serve them to kind of get them in the mood for a celebration of New Year's Eve?
Absolutely. You could always do one of the still wines we've talked about. Great little Riesling, Pinot Noir, Rosé, any of those. But you can also go kind of the traditional route. You can go old-fashioned for your old-fashioned memories of the past year. Or, if you're not going to be in Manhattan or New York, you can always do a Manhattan. That's always a great little idea.
Yeah, and we'll have some recipes for this down below. But as time approaches, and those who are still awake, not necessarily me, but as time approaches for the ball to fall, Dick Clark's stand in to tell us everything, what do you think we ought to share?
Well, the biggest thing on that is just kind of knowing your crowd. If you've got a lot of kind of rookie drinkers, maybe aren't used to bubbles or champagne, you might want to go with one of the sweeter options, like the Northern Italy, Asti Spumante. Nice, sweet, sparkle, the same thing, or kind of the middle of the road option that's become extremely popular, also made in the northern part of Italy, which is Prosecco. It's just not real sweet, it's not real dry, but same pop to cork, same sparkle in the glass. But if you do want to go more traditional, all right, thinking brut extra dry, and remember it's a misnomer, extra dry is not as dry as brut. You can always go with one of the noble houses, like this is Tatange, right up there with Moet, Dom Perignon, or if you want to be P. Diddy for a night, you can always do Louis Roederer's Cristal, all right? But the big thing to remember about any kind of traditional bubbles, be it from, California or the Reims region of France, which really means true champagne, is remember Méthode Champenoise or Méthode Traditionnelle. All right, this actually means that the fermentation happens inside the bottle. That's the secondary fermentation that gives it the bubbles. But there's a little bit of trick here. This is actually Decoy's, bubbles. This is a nice little Northern California sparkler, but when you're opening champagne, there's a little bit of a trick because you don't want to put anybody's eye out, and you certainly don't want half of it going on the floor. So just remember, there's about 600 pounds of pressure in each one of these bottles. That's why your glass is 3 times as thick. So essentially, the only thing that's really holding this on right now is just this cage on top of this wine. So basically, what you want to do is you want to take this, wrapper off of the, the bottle. All right, get to your cage. I've kind of left it on there aside from about the last turn. And then you want to remove that cage on there, still trying to kind of keep a little bit of a, hand on your bottle. But then once you get that off, your trick is hold it at about a 45-degree angle hold your cork still. All right, you notice I don't have this pointed at my good friend Doc over
And
here.
I'm so proud.
But then basically what you want to do is you essentially want to rotate the bottle and not the cork. Everything comes out nice and easy. Don't spill a drop. So, Doc,
Let's see how it pours.
I think it's going to pour fantastic. There you go. Get my glass here. What would you do if you had any of this left over the next day, Doc?
Well, about the time I'm trying to drink some Pepto-Bismol, there may be some orange juice left in the fridge. What do you do with that?
Make you a mimosa. Basically, according to Horror, mimosa is pretty much half orange juice, half bubbles. You can always do a fun little spin, maybe a little bit of pineapple juice. Got a little Chambord, you can make you a Cur Royale. But the best thing to remember is have fun, be safe, and Happy New Year. Thanks.
Happy New Year.
Like, comment, subscribe.